There was a man who made a living selling balloons at a fair. He had all colors of balloons, including red, yellow, blue, and green. Whenever business was slow, he would release a helium-filled balloon into the air, and when the children saw it go up, they all wanted to buy one. They would come up to him, buy a balloon, and his sales would go up again. He continued this process all day. He turned around and saw a little boy who asked, "If you release a black balloon, would that also fly?" Moved by the boy's concern, the man replied with empathy, "Son, it is not the color of the balloon, it is what is inside that makes it go up." The same thing applies to our lives. One day, he felt someone tugging at his jacket. It is what is inside that counts. The thing inside of us that makes us go up is our attitude. Have you ever wondered why some individuals, organizations, or countries are more successful than others? It is not a secret. These people simply think and act more effectively. They have learned how to do so by investing in the most valuable asset, people. I have spoken to executives in major corporations all over the world and asked one question. If you had a magic wand and there was one thing you would want changed, that would give you a cutting edge in the marketplace, resulting in increased productivity and profits, what would that be? The answer was unanimous. I believe that the success of an individual, organization, or country depends on the quality of their people. They all said that if people had better attitudes, they'd be better team players, and it'd cut down waste, improve loyalty, and, in general, make their company a great place to work. William James of Harvard University said, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. Experience has shown that human resources is the most valuable asset of any business." TQP Total Quality People, having been exposed to a number of training programs such as customer service, selling skills, and strategic planning, I have come to the conclusion that all these are great programs with one major challenge: none of them works unless they have the right foundation, and the right foundation is TQP. It is more valuable than capital or equipment. Unfortunately, it is also the most wasted. People can be your biggest asset or your biggest liability. What is TQP? TQP is Total Quality People, people with character, integrity, good values, and a positive attitude. Don't get me wrong, you do need all the other programs, but they will only work when you have the right foundation, and the foundation is TQP. For example, some customer service programs teach participants to say, "Please," and "Thank you," give smiles and handshakes. But how long can a person keep on a fake smile if he does not have the desire to serve? Besides, people can see through him. And if the smile is not sincere, it is irritating. My point is, there has to be substance over form, not form over substance. Without a doubt, one does need to remember "please" and "thank you," the smiles, etc. They are very important. But keep in mind that they come a lot easier when accompanied by a desire to serve. Someone once approached Blaise Pascal, the famous French philosopher, and said, "If I had your brains, I would be a better person." Pascal replied, "Be a better person and you will have my brains." The Calgary Tower stands at 198 meters. The total weight of the tower is 10,884 tons, of which 6,349 tons is below ground, approximately 60%. This shows that some of the greatest buildings have the strongest foundations. Just like a great building stands on a strong foundation, so does success. Your attitude contributes to success. A study attributed to Harvard University found that when a person gets a job, 85% of the time it is because of their attitude, and only 15% of the time because of how smart they are and how many facts and figures they know. And the foundation of success is attitude. Surprisingly, almost 100% of education dollars go to teach facts and figures, which account for only 15% of success in work. This book is all about that 85% of success. Attitude is the most important word in the English language. It applies to every sphere of life, including one's personal and professional life. Can an executive be a good executive without a good attitude? Can a student be a good student without a good attitude? Can a parent, teacher, salesman, employer, employee be good in their roles without a good attitude? The foundation of success, regardless of your chosen field, is attitude. If attitude is such a critical factor in success, shouldn't you examine your attitude toward life and ask how your attitude will affect your goals? Acres of diamonds. There was a farmer in Africa who was happy and content. He was happy because he was content. He was content because he was happy. One day, a wise man came to him and told him about the glory of diamonds and the power that goes along with them. The wise man said, "If you had a diamond the size of your thumb, you could have your own city. If you had a diamond the size of your fist, you could probably own your own country." And then he went away. That night, the farmer couldn't sleep. He was unhappy and he was discontent. He was unhappy because he was discontent and discontent because he was unhappy. The next morning he made arrangements to sell off his farm, took care of his family, and went in search of diamonds. He looked all over Africa and couldn't find any. He looked all through Europe and couldn't find any. When he got to Spain, he was emotionally, physically, and financially broke. He got so disheartened that he threw himself into the Barcelona River and committed suicide. Back home, the person who had bought his farm was watering the camels at a stream that ran through the farm. Across the stream, the rays of the morning sun hit a stone and made it sparkle like a rainbow. He thought it would look good on the mantelpiece. He picked up the stone and put it in the living room. That afternoon, the wise man came and saw the stone sparkling. He asked, "Is Hafiz back?" The new owner said, "No." "Why do you ask?" The wise man said, "Because that is a diamond. I recognize one when I see one." The man said, "No, that's just a stone I picked up from the stream. Come, I'll show you, there are many more." They went and picked some samples and sent them for analysis. Sure enough, the stones were diamonds. They found that the farm was indeed covered with acres and acres of diamonds. Asterisk, what is the moral of this story? There are 5 morals. 1. When our attitude is right, we realize that we are all walking on acres and acres of diamonds. Attributed to Dr. Russell Conwell, opportunity is always under our feet. We don't have to go anywhere. All we need to do is recognize it. 2. The grass on the other side always looks greener. 3. While we are dyeing the grass on the other side, there are others who are dyeing the grass on our side. They would be happy to trade places with us. 4. When people don't know how to recognize opportunity, they complain of noise when it knocks. 5. One day, a 17-year-old shepherd boy came to visit his brothers and asked, "Why don't you stand up and fight the giant?" The brothers were terrified and they replied, "Don't you see he is too big to hit?" But David said, "No, he is not too big to hit, he is too big to miss. The rest is history." The same opportunity never knocks twice. The next one may be better or worse, but it is never the same one. David and Goliath. We all know the story of David and Goliath. There was a giant who was bullying and harassing the children in the village. We all know what happened. David killed the giant with a sling. Same giant, different perception. Our attitude determines how we look at a setback. To a positive thinker, it can be a stepping stone to success. To a negative thinker, it can be a stumbling block. Great organizations are not measured by wages and working conditions. They are measured by feelings, attitudes, and relationships. When employees say, "I can't do it," there are 2 possible meanings. Are they saying they don't know how to, or they don't want to? If they don't know how to, that is a training issue. If they are saying they don't want to, it may be an attitude issue, they don't care, or a values issue, they believe they should not do it.